Hey, what's going on, everybody? How is everyone doing today? I am ready to start the show. Let me know, again, if still dialing in this music, let me know if it is too loud for you or anything like that. So let me just tell Kyle something. Let's see. All right. Hey, Manuel. All right. So yeah, just let me know if you're in here. Give me a shout. I'm not seeing anyone on the restream. So I'm wondering if I did this right. Oh, nope, there's some people. Cool. All right. All right, cool. So if you haven't been following me, my name is Mike Thompson. I am an illustrator professionally and a ZBrush user as well. So a lot of the stuff I do for my clients, lately I've been using ZBrush to help me out as far as, you know, creating characters and lighting them, and then using those for reference for painting. And what I'm working on today, what's up? Hey, what's going on? Good. That's cool. All right. Well, I don't have the Facebook stream on here yet. I'm trying to get the I/O dialed in, the restream I/O dialed in, so I can have everybody here, and I don't have to keep switching back and forth. But I do see folks on Facebook, so it's good to see you guys too. So I'll be doing a lot of this back and forth stuff. Also, I set my camera to track my face, so if that gets annoying, it does like pans and sweeps and stuff. If that gets annoying, just let me know and I'll cut it off, because I saw it for a second there and I started getting seasick. But yeah, I'm working on, of course my mother-in-law calls me right when I start the stream. I'm working on Trapjaw from Masters of the Universe. So when I last, yeah, no, it's all good. The desktop is working fine. I'm on it now, actually. That's it, right back there. Let's see if I can get my face over. That's it right there. Working really well. So let's open up. When I was with you guys last, right, I had my guy kind of, zoom out. I had my guy a little too high to take into Transpose Master and compose. So what I've done in the time that I wasn't in here, get this in a good spot, is I went in and I lowered the topology for everything and reprojected back details that I needed. So if I go to all low here, you'll see that it's pretty low, right? Which is good for me to pose. And let's see. Okay, let's see. What's up? I'm in. So I got it low here, and I'm going to go ahead and take it into Transpose Master. I kind of jumped the gun last night because I wanted to make sure everything would work fine. So I started posing him based on a sketch that I started, right, which is this one here, right? And I wanted to see if I wanted to feel like a Berserker kind of a charge with his claw up in the air. I went and just gave him a second arm. I just copied and pasted this arm for now, just so I can get the general pose, and then I'm going to swap that out with the with a robot arm that I'm going to make with the claw and all that good stuff. But I did start last night, and it's starting to get there. I had a lot more to do, so don't worry you didn't miss anything. You just missed kind of like the starting is really the boring part. So if I go over to this one, you can see that he is looking real awkward right now, but he's kind of started getting the leg and the twist in the torso that I want, right? I still have to do this leg and make him feel like he's not about to tumble over, but you can see that if I go back to my sketch, it's getting there. Right? So I can take this now, and let's see if anybody else is saying anything. Nope. Good. Hey, everybody on Facebook. Okay. So now I can just take it back to all low again. And you can see one of the things that happens when you go into Transpose Master is that you'll start to get areas that penetrate. Did I fix? Yeah, some of his leg is shooting through here. I think last night I just went through with the move tool. And I'm going to have to move some things because I can't see. Can't see anything I need. I'm going to move this. Alright. I'll put this back later. Right now it's in the way. Move this out of the way. I'm going to move this. Alright. Let's just put this right here. And then I can go to my move tool and make sure I am all low. And then I can just grab the I'm on this part that's covering his leg and just start to move things around to make it feel more, you know, a little better, right? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna have him on. I was thinking about this thing somewhere around here. I don't know if I copied it. Look around. There was I mentioned it last session. There's like a half a sphere where it was made out of rocks, and it kind of looks like, it looks dynamic. It looks like the rocks are kind of shooting up in the air, and it makes like a bowl that he's fitting in. And I'm thinking about doing that. I don't think I copied it. I don't have it anywhere. But it's all good. Yeah, base I'll figure out later. For now, I just want to make sure that I can kind of nail this pose and then go in and fix all the areas that got kind of wacky. So let's go back into Transpose Master. I got a whole other leg to do. The other thing that would have been helpful is seeing this from other angles. So I did have my little guy. Okay, I can just use this for now and kind of get an approximation, because when that leg is shooting back, I don't know what it looks like from the side, and it's messing me up here. So I'm just gonna take my, jeez man, okay, I gotta cut off that following thing. That's kind of annoying. I'm gonna take my this dude, War Machine, and pose him that's kind of close to this, and then I can use it to did I mention how cool this guy is? He's really dope. Use this as something to help me. I'm just going to set it right here on my table, and then I can look at that. What's up, side effects? Doing this kind of stuff right now. Hey, that's all good. Everybody has to start sometime. Alright, so let's go into Transpose Master. And hit T-Pose Mesh. Now I did make polygroups for all of his body, but when I go into Transpose Master, for some reason it just makes it all one group. So if I go to polygroups, see it's one group again, and that's not good. So the first thing I have to do before I do anything is just isolate him and then start making some groups. Iron Patriot. Exactly. Hey, thanks, Eddie. Alright, so let's just go, and I'm going to use my Select Lasso and my Mask Lasso and start kind of isolating some of these things that I want to move independently. How's everybody holiday? If you're in the US, if you're overseas, you don't have Labor Day. So, how's everybody's weekend? Alright, this has kind of a pinch here, so maybe let's try to see if I can do a mask selection. Get some of what I want. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's not bad. Alright, and then I can come back with the lasso and kind of get the rest rest of that leg. Long but fun. Hey, that's what's up. Enjoy it while you can. My kids started school again this week, and so it's weird having the house to myself again. Like all summer, it's just been somebody wanting to go somewhere or needs money for something. Did I get this leg too? Yeah, kind of did. Alright. Sometimes using the gizmo will give you some perfect effect the first time, and then sometimes you gotta kind of mess around with it. Alright, so that's that. And you can see when I pose this, I got some pinching that's going on here and some deformation. So I just go in and smooth it. That's why I try not to go crazy with the I try not to go crazy when I'm posing him, you know, in a static pose. I also, another reason why I jump to my pose early as opposed to keeping him in a symmetrical pose, because you lose things, you have to re-sculpt it. You know, 6 on one hand, half a dozen on the other. Thank you, Osorio. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's see what's going on Facebook. Move this out of the way. The music's as loud as my voice. All right, good. That's good feedback. Let me turn it down. Do that. Give me 1 second. Is that better? Let me know. Or if you can hear it at all. You might not be able to hear it at all. Alright. So let's get his waist. Thank you. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just know that I want to get, I want to be able to move these areas, and I want to be able to select them fairly easy. So it's alright if it's kind of messed up in some areas. But I can tell right now I gotta fix this bathing suit area. It's covered up anyway, so it's probably going to get all twisted anyway. It's all good. Alright, let's get this arm squared away. Alright. And that's what I normally do. Just go in and grab these parts, and everywhere I know I want to pose, I want that to be its own group. And it always makes a color that's almost exactly like the color next to it. Exactly. Twisting that bathing suit area is not fun. Alright. I stretched his neck out a little bit too, and you can see over here it got a little messed up. I'll be fixing this after I get out of Transpose Master, more than likely. Same case. Oh yeah, no, I love this case, man. I have a friend named Jay who helped me pick out the parts for all of the for all this, and kind of when I got stuck, because this is my first PC, and when I would get stuck on parts, he would help me, you know, organize and figure out this stuff. So thank goodness he's like a PC master. Yeah, man, get on it, dude. Alright, so that is... I want one more group. Yeah, I want to twist his... I'm going to twist his upper body too, so I want to group that. Let's see if I can delete some of these. Not delete, but hide them. His head. Alright. Let's see how this works. Alright, cool. Cool. Venom's your favorite? Cool, thank you. Alright. So now, let's see what's going on with Facebook. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Okay, so now I want to, like, my favorite thing about this pose is kind of what's going on with his arm here, so I want to work on that now. So, sorry, of course, my neighbors are having their lawns kind of cut today. Right now, actually. Alright, so let's grab this. What's up, Lance? Soften that up a little bit. And now I kind of have the twist. Let's see if I can give it a little bit more of a twist. When I was doing this yesterday, I was running into issues with his pecs. Like it just deforms and crunches up on his pecs here. Oops. First thing I need to do is get the gizmo oriented properly. And then I guess I'll be twisting it more from the front so I don't get that pinch. So I can do this. Okay. And as I do this, I'm just going to grab the move tool and just kind of fix areas that need to be fixed as much as possible. Like I said, most of this is going to have to be resculpted. Hey, thanks, thanks, guys. Good thing about having this low resolution too is I can smooth out things and keep some of that detail I have on the higher levels, which is nice. This down because it's higher than it should be. Let's see. Sorry, I just want to see my highlight. So yeah, I want to move this down. Maybe back. Yeah, the keyboard is just a mechanical keyboard. It's not a gaming keyboard, but let's do that. Sorry about that. works better than just the regular ones. Gotta orient the gizmo exactly in the right spot, or else it just deforms crazy. Alright, so I want to bend this arm forward. Okay, and then I think I want to twist the bicep a little bit. Hey, India's in the house, y'all. Some Facebook people are signing in from India. What's up? That's a little much. Well, I don't have it at the right angle. That's why. Let's put it back here. That's a little bit of a twist down. Definitely need to twist the forearm. So do the same thing, just kind of grab it, give it a really good soften with the mask, and let's get this positioned the right way. Make sure it's in the center, else it's gonna twist the arm. These are all things that I learned the hard way. Okay. So let's see. Okay, and that's gonna help me get this. His hand in the right position. So that's not bad. Let's maybe come this way. Do a little more twist. And all I'm really looking for here is for it to look really dynamic and cool. So if it's not, anatomically perfect, like if I've broken his arm somewhere, I don't really care, as long as it doesn't look broken. If it looks like a comic book pose, that's cool. How many polys? No worries. It is now. I went and found something. I had the belt. I must have accidentally, when I was stepping down in the subdivisions, I must have actually been subdividing, but my belt was like 6 million polys, so I fixed that. I think now the whole piece is down to 6 million. It was like 30 or something crazy like that. But when I get in there and really start detailing that high frequency detail and stuff, that's when it's going to, that's when those polys will jump up. You know, I tried Z-Sphere rigging blends for a work project last month, I think, and it worked out okay, but it's one of those things where I kind of enjoy using Transpose Master, to be honest with you. I have friends that could throw a rig in this guy in Maya and have like a proper rig, but you know, I just kind of like doing it in here for some reason. So, but the Z-Sphere rig is a nice move. My friend Gary was telling me about. Apparently, he was messing around with one this weekend. That's old school, man. Z-Sphere rigs. Sharper on the palm, so I'll get folding back there, you know, like a soft fold rather. Yeah, I did. If it's annoying, let me fix that now. Actually, just hold tight 1 second. Camera properties. Let me turn that off. Video. Don't follow my face. There you go. And save. Done. Alright, let's take a look. I'm gonna follow your face. I'm gonna follow your face, son! I really want to get a good bend there, so let's bring it. Pivot point back. Oops, yeah, back and maybe up a little. Let's bend. Bendy. Yeah. His elbow, let's see. No, I know what I need. I need to twist it. Twist his. A little bit. Back to center. Center that pivot. On the joint. Yeah, Trapjaw's he's cool. You know what's crazy? I started doing this and I went back and looked at the cartoons, right, just to get a frame of reference, because it's been a long time since I've seen them. And I do this when I'm painting, you know, like hip-hop people and all that other stuff. I listen to their music and it helps me paint them. So I was looking at the cartoons and I'm like, man, this guy was just like the butt of everybody's joke, you know. I always thought he was so cool, but in the cartoon they clown this guy in every episode, which is not nice. Twist that way. Just a little bit back there. I want it to look broken. Alright. So that's that hand. I gotta get that leg fixed. The Gruber! What's up? How you doing? Another thing, if you haven't seen that movie, MacGruber, my boy from college, from high school actually, I went over and hung out with him the other day and we watched that again. It's fantastic. Just the right movie to watch when you're hanging out with a dude. Very corny. My wife would not appreciate it at all. But I thought it was funny. Oh, you know what? I didn't separate the knee, so let's do that. leg. Polygroup that shin. Favorite cartoon series? Rick and Morty, without a doubt. Like, if we're talking about any cartoon, Rick and Morty. Of all time, I was a big Thundercats fan. That was one of my faves. What about you, Lance? Well, you can see this knee moved out of place too. These are all things that I will fix when we get out of here. Out of the Transpose Master, that is. This leg, and I need to figure out, so I'm looking at my guy again, like that, so let's see, so I'm going to isolate his whole leg. Oh yeah, Macross is dope. Rick fighting awesome alien. I started a Rick and Morty sculpt. It's got a lot going on. I'll show it to you later. It's pretty cool. Old school. Oh man, yeah, no, that was great too. Patchy Chief. Yeah, that's that was the good stuff. So that leg is isolated. Yeah, Superman is, you know what? Superman is cool, but something about the fact that he can do anything, like you don't really need anybody else if you have Superman. That always kind of made him not my favorite. He's like, if you got Superman, you don't need anybody else. Yeah, Patchy Chief was the bomb. Alright, that leg is back too far. No, I didn't want it back. And I want to twist it, right? But you're going to be twisting it from the... I guess I can twist some from the hip. Wait, what? Is it Harvey Berman in a hot coffee? Is that right? I'm going to check that out. Music's still on. Nah, it's still on. You know, with rigging, the thing that I notice is that unless, you know, the person really puts a lot of time going in with the shape weights and stuff like that, it always just kind of bends up and deforms to the point where, you know, if I raise up my arm, my pec I did a Hulk where I did some really serious bends on it, and just it was so kind of extreme that the pecs completely folded over on themselves, and it got really weird. So I think that's part of the reason why I like this too, is that I can go in and address those areas of deformation as I'm doing this. You know what I mean? That's maybe why I prefer it. I also had another friend who challenged me and told me I couldn't get a pose in Transpose Master. He said I couldn't do it, and I did it. So I have this little thing I like to call spite sculpting. I do my best work when it is a spite sculpt, just to prove somebody wrong. So, pro tip. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Ooh, that looks crazy. Why does that look so bad? I gotta twist it the other way. And you can see I didn't soften the mask and it got real messed up here. Again, that's cool, I can fix all that later. Just don't want to have an extreme bend where it folds in on itself. But a lot of people ask me why I jump into my pose so early and break symmetry. This is the reason, because I'm going to end up sculpting everything pretty much over again. Maybe not everything, but you know, a lot of it. So I like to just get right into that pose. And when you get your pose, like get a good pose, for me it energizes me, right? It makes it like more dynamic. Something in a T pose, it could be the best sculpt, but if it's in a T pose, it's so boring, you know. It's very static. Or an A pose. A relaxed pose. Alright, so that's a little bit better. Let's get this. Now, the way that his torso is right now is also making it feel really whack. So let's grab his whole upper body and let's get that looking a little better. Yeah, look at that fold. It's no bueno. And then this, you know what I didn't do? Let's go back here. I need to separate the top part of the fur from the bottom. The chat is quiet. What is going on, you guys? that whole top needs to shift over. So let's do that. It's very important that this gizmo is right on his spine, because if not, I'm gonna have serious problems. Good thing about him having this big fur, kind of like pant thing, is that I can just pull it up and fill in these gaps. And the weight belt is going to help with that too. What's up, Will? Thank you, man. Alright, that's bent that way. I'm going to bring that, I'm going to bring the whole thing down. Twist a little better. Let's see. Okay. Center this up a little bit. And he needs to bend forward from the right below his chest as well. That's kind of making him feel real distorted, I think. So, move this up a little bit. All right. Forward a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Take a sip of water. Just move this belt out some. Again, really nice point about having super low geometry here. Look, I can just go in and isolate this. Let's undo all that. And then I can fix it. Now his body got mangled, so let's go fix that. Dude, not a good look. Let's fix this, because his volumes are going to be all screwed up if I don't address this, even though it's covered by those pants. And this is what I had to do with that Hulk. Like, he just got so folded in on himself. Hands are in the way. His arms are in the way. Let's get him out of here. Get out of here. So if you're new to ZBrush and you use Transpose Master and this same thing happens to you, don't worry about it. This is kind of just what happens. The key is don't come in here with a super high res, you know, a high poly mesh, because it's a lot easier to move something that's 158,000 points than something that's a million. Fix that ass. You know what? Put this use in an hour. What you got going on, Hannibal? Something is up with my is anybody else having issues with their Wacom driver? I'm having like these things where my pen is just, there's a lag, and also it's doing a thing now where it doesn't recognize the individual settings for the stylus buttons. Like, it only recognizes that first setting. It says like all other, which is not good. So I'm trying to figure out what that's all about. Oh, this is what you're working on? Yeah, I don't know, like, it's very weird, because I was doing fine for a long time, and then all of a sudden it just started bugging out in my painting apps and in ZBrush. Yeah, now see, this is another thing. So when you start twisting and moving things around, like I see now it's got like one huge peck and one little mushed up one. So these are all things that are going to have to be kind of figured out. It's almost better. This is, I mean, it's reminding me why I don't really get a lot of detail before I break symmetry. Everything has to be redone. That's a theme. Have I said that already today? Because it does. Alright. You know the problem on the Mac? thanks, Walter. Yeah, it's weird because I mean I was using Mac my entire career, and I just recently switched to PC, and I'm noticing that the issues that I thought I was going to get away from, they're everywhere. It doesn't matter what platform you're on. Okay, so again, gonna really fix this when we get out of Transpose Master, but for now, like, yeah, because it's not that anybody's gonna see his crotch, but it got totally chewed up here. Also, I probably could have used a better way to describe what happened here. Let's see, grow. Alright, and if I turn on double, dynamic subdiv, no, that's turned off. It is turned off, my friend. Anybody see any good movies lately? I felt like getting out of the house the other day and went and watched The Happy Time Murders, which, if you've seen the commercials, you've seen the movie. Save your money. Why'd I switch from a Mac? I switched because I had a GTX 980 in it, and every time there was a security update that came out, it crippled the driver, so my screens were black, and I had to go in and do this whole rigmarole where I took out the graphics card, put in the original graphics card, then I had to spend all day going through trying to get it to recognize it again. And I was working on a project where I was like, enough is enough. I gotta stop doing this. I just fixed it 1 week, and then I had it working fine, and then it did it again another week. It took literally the entire weekend to get it fixed, so I said, that's it. Let's see. How to retopo complex pieces. How is to... You gotta hit me again with that, Victor. I don't understand what you're saying. 3D printer? Yeah, no. I definitely... I'm getting some stuff printed now for the show, for the summit. They're doing my Venom ball and a small version of my Bishop. Yeah, I saw Upgrade the other day. That's pretty cool. Was it good, Walter? Did you like Hereditary? Because I don't understand it from that commercial. I don't know what that movie is. I like horror movies. But I didn't... I saw... I got burned by that Jennifer Lawrence movie, Mother. I thought that was going to be good, and that was not good for me. So, Hereditary kind of reminded me of that. I don't know if it is the same kind of movie, but it felt like it a little bit. Do you give away any of your STL files for printing? No, because eventually I'm going to get into printing my own stuff. I just haven't had the time yet. So, I am doing, you know, commissions and stuff like that too. So I will be getting into the 3D printing side at some point. The only thing, see now, in the movies, these fur pants look badass, but you gotta be careful because they quickly become furry diapers. So that's a thing that I'm not liking. Yes, sir, you know it. Well, I'm a freelance illustrator, so all my stuff is for hire. Just finished a crazy project for Nike that took, okay, see, this is what happened. All right, now you can see on the back here, I fixed his glutes, and you can see that this is going to change the entire silhouette. So now I got to go in and fix the pants and the belt as well. So let's do that. Furry diapers. You know I don't wear furry. I don't wear diapers a lot. When I do, they're usually furry. Those are the only kind of diapers I wear. Okay. Let's mask this and unmask. There you go. Yeah, I think if I do get a printer, I'm gonna just save up and do a Form 2. Responsible for the advertisements that everybody are losing their mind about? Nah, that ain't me. Everybody needs to calm down with that mess. I see people burning their shoes and cutting them up. It's crazy. A way to retopple a model with complex geometry or very small geometry. Yeah, ZBrushLIVE does a really good job. You can do it right in ZBrush, or if you want to do it by hand, you know, pop into a 3D app, and you totally can get that retopoed, my friend. You know what though? You burn your shoes, but you paid for them. Yeah, I know. I know. I'll show you. I'm gonna burn these $200 shoes I just paid for. Take that, Kaepernick. People are crazy. No, the thing I was working on is for a different campaign, but it was really fun. So I haven't worked with Nike in a while, but when it comes out, I'll tell you guys. Alright, cool. It's a workhorse. Yeah, I have friends who have it, and it looks awesome, but I think the thing that I need to figure out before I spend a dime on a 3D printer is really getting a good handle on prepping my models. You know, cutting them up and making sure that I don't have any undercuts or areas where it's not watertight, that kind of thing. Pull this out. Okay. Now every once in a while what I like to do is, the pose isn't finished, I'll usually go back and forth between Transpose Master like 3 or 4 times before I get a final pose, but I like to hop out just to make sure that everything is fine, because I have spent hours posing something in Transpose Master and then I realized that something wasn't turned on and it just glitches it all and I lose everything. So let's hop out real quick. Just do a T-pose to sub-T. Make sure everything is unmasked, just in case. And everything is visible, which it is. And let's go move this back. See what we have. I also like seeing the guy like move in position. It's kind of cool. Alright, cool. That's pretty nice. Alright, so now I can save and then go back. So let's save it. This is Trapjaw. So it's the guy from He-Man, this dude. I don't know if you've seen Masters of the Universe. Who is and was your favorite high-profile client? Someone who just gave you artistic freedom. I am very fortunate in the fact that I've been doing this so long that I get to do... I don't have a lot of hand-holding with anything now. When I first started taking on clients, I did, but I've been at this for a minute now, so they kind of just tell me what they want and let me go. But favorite client was probably I like Coke. Like Coca-Cola was fun because I got to be in a commercial with the Roots and Angie Stone. That was pretty fun. And but I mean, Marvel's always awesome, even when they don't use my stuff. Check out the base, send it to you. Okay, man. Yeah, Trapjaw, you know that guy. Cool. Alright, what am I doing with this leg? So, let's go back to this. Kind of get him in the position here. This leg is out. The other thing too, I want to make sure it looks good from all the angles, because there's nothing worse than having a pose that looks good from one angle and not from the other. And I can tell that I need to work on his, the way his weight distribution is kind of bad now. It's not good. So let's go back, work on that. Oh, Blanche, you know who Angie Stone is? I never know how old anybody is in here, so when I mention people's names, if they're not like, you know, the Migos or somebody, my son is like, who's that? But yeah, Angie's awesome. I got a picture with Angie. She's super nice. And then I got a picture with Quest, where I was way too happy to be next to him. I was like a massive Roots fan, and I have this look where I'm just like, and he's got this look where he's kind of looking at me like this. So it's always good to have those stories. Just tell on yourself every once in a while. Yeah, you gotta love Masters of the Universe. Unless it's the movie, and then you don't. Alright, let's go back into Transpose Master. Alright, gotta figure out this. So his other arm is up. Oh no, alright, let's let it do this thing. Cool. Yeah, Angie's awesome. Amel LaRue was in the commercial as well, and I had like, that's a funny story because when I was in college, I was a big fan of hers. Like, had a massive crush on her. And so when I met her, I was talking to her manager. And I was like, oh man, you know, when I was in college, I used to really just be all about Amel and everything. And he's like, oh man, that's cool. He goes, yeah, that's my wife. I was like, oh, this is not awkward at all. Although I did notice for the rest of the whole like shoot, she was very far away from me. So I don't know don't know how that went. Probably could have been better, I think. Okay, I'm gonna twist his torso some. Again, try to get this weight shifted a little better. Yeah. Yeah, she does. So that was a great thing about when I was younger. I never talk about my illustration stuff when I'm in here. I'm only like posing, but I had like a whole other life before I started using ZBrush, where I was painting hip-hop artists and stuff, and I got to meet some people and things like that. But also a big Common fan, and I met him when I was working with. I don't know. I mean, you want me to tell the story? It'll start sounding kind of name droppy, so maybe I won't tell the story. So, you know what? Let me just take this sculpting and shut up. I don't want to be that guy. I don't like that person that. You know, I was hanging out the other day with Barack Obama, and I've never hung out with him, by the way. Met Sir Richard Branson for McDonald's the other day, and we laughed at the same things. Be that guy. Best sci-fi movie you ever watched? Of course, it's The Matrix. First one? Come on, man. Of course, that's the best one. I love all sci-fi movies. I've seen almost all the sci-fi movies, all of them, and The Matrix for me, the first one, was just such a cool story. I love that so much. That's not a movie? Let's see. B-Rock. It's a documentary, exactly. Alright. Well, look, if you guys start to dislike me, blame these cats in the chat. So, I was in New York for this thing, and I got a call because I had worked with Kanye on his the Jesus Walks video. There's a piece of art that kind of shows at the end when there's like a thunderstorm, when the guy's on his knees and there's like an angel in the sky and like a devil on the ground, or whatever. And so that was mine. But I was in New York, and he was at the Sony recording studio with oh no, that skull got messed up, with Common, and like I'm a massive fan of Common, so went over there, and you know, I was talking to I think Common was they were working on his album, and so they were, you know, in the booth and everything, and I was just kind of sitting down chilling, and so he comes out, and Kanye introduced me to him. I was like, oh man, you know, big fan. He was like, oh yeah, I'm kind of in the middle of something, because he was concentrating, so it was a brush off. Like, I understand he was busy doing his thing, so I didn't get mad at him. I'm still a big fan, but it was one of those things where it was kind of real awkward. I have good stories with rappers too. They're not all really kind of off-putting, but those aren't fun. So I'll tell you the stories where I look like an ass. Why not? The Matrix thing where John Connor goes, okay, I got you. I'll let that slide, homie. Nobody better say nothing bad about the first Matrix. It was awesome. Had that the other two. Where was I? To get the top. Oh, yeah, look at that. All right, so I lost all my subdivision, or not my subdivision, my polygroups again. But that's okay. Where am I at? There's the top, so I want the bottom. All right, let's do this. This has to be its own group. Yeah, Terminator's also great. I mean, there's so many really good ones. But, I mean, if you're asking about my favorite, it's the Terminators. Let's get this, this, and this. Soften the blur on this. That's what happens last time. Is when I don't have a soft mask, that's when I get those really bad bends. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes the smaller movies are better. You know what I mean? Like, they spend too much money, and the next thing you know, it's like Alien Covenant. So, which was okay, but should have been way better than it was. To me, in my humble opinion. I mean, you left me hanging after Prometheus with all these questions, and then you come back and just the first 5 minutes you glaze over them, which is real terrible. Like, that was unforgivable, actually. Oh, that's more than 3. That was his first album, dude. Okay, and I said I was going to bend him forward more. What would happen if I twist his torso a little bit more? Let's do that. Give it a little bit more of a twist. Yeah. And so could you do, maybe he's got his leg out. Yeah, okay. So I think I'll bend the waist back a little bit and then bend his chest. I don't know, if he's got his arm up, his chest should be bent back. These are all things that I go through, like just trying to figure this out. So if his arm is up, it also weighs a ton, right? So it's gonna, the momentum of it is gonna have his pecs kind of towards the sky. So it's an awkward pose, but I think it's gonna make sense. And then the other thing I want to do here is I want to rotate the entire piece a little bit. This is a little more this way. I think, and then I'll leave that where that was. Okay, his head's going to have to come down. And move this arm up, and I think we're good. Let's do that. So the reason I did the proxy on the arm is, please elaborate. Who wrote both those? What are you talking about, bud? The album? What's up, Attentive Slug? Man, I was wondering when you were going to pop in here. I'm missing you, and Joanne are like the never miss a stream. Very supportive to the cause. grab this whole thing. Oh, there was the woman wrote The Matrix, but I don't know about the Terminator. I don't think she wrote the Terminator. Oh, George Bush Kanye. Yeah, there's several iterations of Kanye. Yes, that was pre-Kim Kanye. It's so funny, speaking of music. I mean, I went on a road trip with my family the other day, and I can tell I'm getting older, right? This is not to like alienate any young folks, but they were listening to stuff. I'm just like, what is this? I don't even know what this is. They're like, no, this is great, Dad. Okay. This is going to be tough because he's got a serious rotation here. I got to find out the right pivot point, I think. He's got all this bulky gear, but his whole arm is going to be up like this. The great thing is, it doesn't matter if it's completely in the wrong spot because I'm going to replace it all anyway. With a robot arm. But this piece is so bulky. I don't know how it would work in real life. Let's see. Make sure there's still music on there. I think it's about to run out. Right, let's see something. If anybody knows how to do what I want to do is I want to do a just like a repeat on the whole song list on VLC. But if you hear the one song just repeat, let me know, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I think I got it right here. All right. Thanks, Lou. Smack the taste out your mouth, He-Man. just want to see, the good thing about this War Machine is he also has these big shoulder pads, and so his arm can only rotate so far, which means that if I can use this as a guide, then it will probably look the way that it would look in real life, which is nice. Anybody going to the summit? Would you recommend ZBrush or Blender? Well, if you want a free app that is really, everybody I know is getting on Blender now, then definitely mess around with Blender. But if you if you want to sculpt stuff, I think there's, I don't use Blender as much as my friends do, but they're not really sculptors as much as like 3D guys. So it's almost like oranges and apples. Get them both. Nice. There you go. Open up something, get started. Oh man, I haven't looked at Facebook in a while. Sorry, Facebook. I have to like switch monitors and turn my head way around to see what's going on. I think it's just people saying hello. So, hello everybody. I promise I'm going to have the Facebook in my stream chat here with YouTube and Twitch next time, so then that way I don't miss any of your questions. If you're saying anything and I'm not responding, it's not because I'm not interested, I promise you. Alright, so I know what else I need to do. Alright, so let's get out of that. I'm gonna move that shoulder piece up. You out, man? Okay, see ya. Kinda, sorta. See you next time. Going to the summit, super excited to see you. Nice. Alright, Winston. Cool. Do me a favor. If you're at the summit and you see my my Venom, just take a shot on the phone and maybe, send it to me on Instagram or Facebook or something like that, because I would love to have it. I want to get some pics, and I'm not going to be able to go. I'm on the East Coast, but that would be awesome. All right, so that makes a little more sense. Now I want to grab his twist his upper body. So let's do that. Maid brush to create any type of sculpting. You mean the one that I use the most? I like the clay brushes. Clay spin is one of my favorites, but I mean, damn standard and move standard are probably the ones I use the most. New York Comic Con. I might. I gotta reach out to. I usually do it with Wacom or Corel, so I'll reach out to those guys and see if you know, if they want to have me out there. If they do, then I'll go. I usually just hop on the train and go spend the day. If I do go, I'll post it on social media and come by and say what's up. All right. So now the straps. See, this is what I was talking about. Those straps are going to have to be completely redone, but in the meantime, let's get the parts that I know need to move. So this needs to move. This that needs to move. Wait, this is supposed to be undone. This. And these are ZBrush. Cintiq, yeah, I'm on a Cintiq right now, actually. See? See if I can get some of it in the picture. There you go, that's better. Alright, so we got that. I don't want to miss any parts here, so I'm going to move pretty much all of this has to move. Smith. Maybe I don't even know. I don't even know what to say to that. Maybe back in my heyday, but thank you for the compliment. W. Carlton? Ooh, Carlton? Okay, let's get this in the middle of his back. So if you're using the gizmo and you're, you know, when you're new to ZBrush, just remember that wherever this yellow square is your center pivot point, and you want to make sure that that is where you want this thing to rotate, because if not, you're gonna get some really unexpected and probably undesired results. I'm going to bend over this way. Now see, that's the other thing. I don't want to shift his pecs from the middle, because then I'll get pinching on this side. So I'm going to move it over to this side, and it's okay if it stretches some. Right, that's all right. Easier to fix that. Neck arm in ZBrush, absolutely. Yeah, everything's ZBrush. Everything's ZBrush. I feel like, okay, why did something moved? Seriously? How far back did I have to go? Okay, that's fine. Alright, let's just fix it up here. for some reason his shoulder pads are. Much working knowledge in this model. The question is rhetorical, interestingly. Oh, The Witcher 3. I've never played The Witcher, but I do like it. I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk. That's probably more my speed. But I heard it was good. And thank you, by the way. Alright, let's get... This is what I was talking about. All of these buckles and straps are going to have to be remade. But that's fine, because they really didn't take that long. Hard surface stuff. Yeah, well, I will. You're going to see it. I'll be doing that using the ZModeler tools, which is how I always do all my hard surface. That's how I did the shoulder pad and things like that. So you're totally going to see that. Alright. Just got to fix this stuff that's wrong here. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna work in ZModeler. You see some hard surface stuff. I'm one of those guys that didn't learn 3D before I started using ZBrush. So all of the things they come out with to help you do, you know, work you would normally do in like a Maya or a Max or something like that, Blender. When they have a way to do it in here, I love it because I don't know I'm not used to the key commands that everybody else has been using for years, and so it's all good for me. ZModeler came out, oh my god, it was the best for me. I use it all the time. In fact, when you ask about like a favorite brush, the ZModeler, that counts as a brush, that might be my favorite. Most used. Okay, turn it down. That. Let me know. This is good because I'm working out the music. Now, I'm in here until 4 today. What time is it now? It's 2:35. So I'm in here until 4 today, but what I'm doing is I'm starting to do my own personal streams. And if you haven't already, this is my Twitch. So if I can get everything on the screen at once, that would be nice. Put this up. Put this over here. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, so that's my Twitch. If you're not already, please give me a follow, and you'll see more of this. And I'm also doing painting like this in Substance Painter. That's my new jam. So a whole lot of stuff. I'm gonna do weekly streams and just make myself do it. In addition to the 2 a week or 2 a month for Pixel. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. The head needs to move. Let's fix his neck because that really Gonna help everything else.
Sorry, hold on one second. Yeah! Okay. My daughter's home. She had to tell me. Okay. I didn't mean to yell in your ears. She would have just kept saying dad until we all went crazy. We don't want that. Oh wait, no, we don't want to mask. We want to unmask all that. There you go. Okay, so let's get this head straight. Get your head right. Oh wait. Wait a second. There you go. Oh wow, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. What's up, Kenyon? Oh, cool. I'm stream. What's that? No, you're fine.
It's okay.
No.
Oh, and I found $10 cash, so I put that in the gas tank.
Thank you.
But I can put the rest in once I get my credit card.
Thank you, baby. Strides, I will. What kind of stuff do you stream? This kind of stuff or gaming type stuff? Let me know. I'll check it out. All right. Let's get this pivot point down. Oh, dude, I'm definitely gonna check that out. I just started really watching and getting into Twitch, so I'm sure everybody already knows what you're doing. I apologize. Oh my god. Oh, done deal. Done deal. What days do you stream? Because I'm gonna subscribe, like follow, if I'm not already. That's awesome. I like all those movies. Hey man, that's all good. I'm glad to meet you. I'm serious. Anything superhero, I'm into it. Right. Screen cap that right quick. Thanks, man. Alright, something happened where I don't like what happened to his upper body. I think I gotta go back.
twist. Let's see. How far back is that? Jeez. This is another good reason why it why I like to hop out of here. It is. That's where it goes wrong. All right. So I'm gonna fix his shoulder pad and then get out of Transpose Master, and then I'll come back and give it another go. It's one of those things where it's very easy, like when you're painting, to go from something that you like to something that you really don't like because you overwork an area, and I wasn't paying attention with that upper body. So usually takes a couple passes to get it exactly the way I want. We'll get it. I have a friend that does animation, and this, like, he would have this thing posed in 2 seconds. Like, it's crazy because the guys that I hang out with, they all have like their, you know, their thing that they do really well. I have another friend who can retopo anything. That's like his mutant power. He can retopo something in half an hour, and the topo is ridiculous. Like, it's so clean. But thank you. So like that's his thing. My other friend, posing is his thing, and rigging, and animation. He's got a few things. Like, I like to lean on those guys for advice. Thanks, Alley Oops. What's going on Facebook? Cabo Verde. What's going on, Callie? Alright, so let's get out of here for now. Let's hide this arm that's going to be replaced anyway. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. All right, so let's see. Thank you, man. What are you normally working? Found it to be tough to post. Yeah. So what do you do, rigs and then pose in like a Maya or a Max or something like that? Arcade's gonna release the videos. Oh, you know what? I will ask him today. I'm sorry. Every time you ask me, and every time can you hit me a DM on you know what? Do it on I think they're you're on Twitch now, right? Hit me on like Instagram or Facebook or something like that, and I'll reach out to Ryan today to find out what's up. I totally forgot. I apologize for that. All right. All Maya, baby. Which version are you using? Are you on 2018 or are you on one of the earlier versions? Hey, Japamo. 2018, skip 2017. Yeah. I'm just still kind of learning Maya. Those two guys I was just talking about are one of them actually teaches Maya, and the other one is just been using it forever, so they're both really good at it. So they've been giving me pointers. Mostly been using it to do retopo and UVs lately. But I do want to mess around with, is Arnold the thing that does hair? Like the, not Arnold, what's it called? The, Arnold's a renderer, right? What's the thing that does hair? Whatever that is, I want to try that. Yeti. Oh, well, Yeti's the high-end thing. What's the one that's in Maya? XGen, exactly. Yeah. My friend uses XGen, and he was showing me like it looked kind of easy. So I definitely want to use that. I've had the worst luck. It's got to be just me, but I've had the worst luck with fiber mesh. I'm just not good at it. When it comes to styling the hair, it's just like I'm not very good at it. Which makes it all the more frustrating when I see people who are like super efficient and, you know, like can do it really easily. I like to hate on those guys a little bit. Alright, so now what's good to do is I can go in and fix all those areas that kind of got deformed and messed up when I was in Transpose Master. Actually, when I first started using Transpose Master, like, it was way more kind of screwed up than this. This is actually not bad, all things considered. Sandro, what's going on? Let's take everything up and see what it looks like. And turn on dynamic for some of these areas again. Definitely going to revisit these legs. These are real. I don't like these. In fact, I might kind of like. I like what's going on here, like both feet planted. That's actually kind of cool. Let me try this. Let's see. So they're at an angle. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as like pose 1. Try this other pose as well. But I think for now what I'll do is go in and kind of just sculpt up and fix these areas that were messed up before. Move this over. Hey Sandra, I'm sorry, I don't speak the language, brother. I don't see what you're asking there. This piece I'm working on now, is it going to be for a game or a 3D print? Yeah, it's just probably for a 3D print. A little personal thing. And this pose is far from over. Like I said, right now it's not where I want it to be. Not by a long shot. But it's getting there. I find it usually the first, few passes at the pose are they're never what it ends up being in the end. What do you recommend for a 3D sculptor? What kind of printer do you have? Oh, I don't have a printer. I just know people that do. I don't know a whole lot of printers, but I know the forum guys. And there's what's that other big one? There's another big brand. I'm not a big intellectual 3D guy yet. I know everybody here probably could answer your questions better than I can. I actually expected these straps to get more distorted than they did. This is not super bad. Yeah, I could have made a layer where I saved him in the relax pose first, and then done this. I just, I don't know, I either always forget or I don't usually work that way. I save tons of versions, so many versions, but so I don't have to worry about jumping back and forth. And then if I ever lose anything, I can just copy it off of one and paste it on the other normally. I'm not even going to sweat these belts because I am going to remake them as I continue to work on the belts. Alright, let's go all high for a second here. Turn off perspective and let's see what it looks like. It's one of those things where from the front he looks good, I think, but from the side I'm not loving it at all. And these pants, God man, they look like diapers. Transparency so I can see what's going on. Actually, take them to their lowest sub-D level. careful with these. I spent a long time sculpting this fur, so I don't want to mess them up. When I use layers, I always forget to stop recording before I save, or I will, be painting and sculpting on the same layer, and I always end up, when I'm done, it always looks like this weird mosaic of black and blue and all these, it's just a mess. So I never really got too deep into layers. I do need to learn them a little better, use them more, I think. Yeah, like half of this is through his leg now. How many subtools? I don't know, maybe like 25, something like that. I don't normally keep track of them, and then I do as I start to get things that I like. I kind of consolidate them into their own, their own groups. It's the same way I paint. Glad I saved my lower subdivision levels for the for these fur pants. I would have been really bummed out if I lost this detail. And sometimes I forget and like delete lower, something like that. How should I build up a character? Yeah, the great thing about ZBrush is there's no right way to do any of this stuff. Like there's literally no right way to do any of it. You could ask, 100 different people what their workflow is, and I guarantee you that they're not all the same. So it's great because there's a lot of different paths that pretty much can end up at the same destination. As far as the sculpt is concerned, it's just, I guess, being efficient, and I know for a fact that there are things that I do that could be done way more efficiently, but you can't do it wrong, and so if you want to work with Sculptors Pro first, and or even Dynamesh, it's cool, and then you have that option to go in and ZRemesh. I have been using ZRemesher a lot more lately. I don't. I like to keep my topology as low as possible, so I don't do a whole lot of I don't do a whole lot of Dynamesh stuff. I find that I use that as almost like an end type of a thing to when I was doing my bishop and I had all those separate pieces of hair. I originally tried to do a Boolean, a union mesh with them using the Boolean features, and it was just so heavy that my computer, it just couldn't calculate it. You know, there were like millions and millions and millions of polys. And so what I ended up doing was I Dynameshed down groups, you know, the tufts of hair to make it into its own group. Let me open it real quick. Let me show you what I ended up with. Box, bishop. Probably should have saved this first. Don't crash. What's up, Dante? But that's a, I mean, that's a pretty in-depth question. I definitely, I wouldn't mind talking to you about it after the fact, you know, and just find out what you're doing and let you know if I think there's a better, you know, maybe a little more efficient way to do it. So this is the bishop I just gave to the guys over at Formlabs to print for the summit. But the hair originally used to be, it used to be all separate pieces, and it was really, really heavy. So let me turn that on so low. Super heavy. So I had to go in and grab the pieces by themselves and start to, I would Dynamesh them together, and then I used the clay feature when I remeshed them, and then eventually I got one, you know, solid piece here, right? Which is nice, because now I have the topology kind of going the way that I want, and when it comes time, they're only printing this thing like 6 inches, or I think the guy is only going to be like 6 inches tall, so like a 1/12 scale. So now I have the geometry so that if I want to go in and sculpt and harden some of these details, I can, you know, which is it's a bonus. Hair is something that I'm really just kind of, I've always struggled with it, but I'm starting to get it. Yeah, no, there's no wrong way to do it, man. You are good. Now that's something. This is another thing that I'm really trying to, I used a ruler to measure this guy and try to get the scale right, but look at this. I knew he was small because when I shrink down my brush size, that's as small as it can, well, wait a minute, maybe he's, shoot, I don't know. We need like a unit of measurement that let me know I'm not crazy. Yeah, absolutely. Send me a DM. Hit me on one of the things. I'm Mike T Artworks on everything. At Mike T Artworks. Type that in the chat. Or I can go back and check this. But yeah, if you DM me on any of the social media, I'd be happy to like check this stuff out. Is this the lower subtle level? Yeah, a bit. Okay. Yeah, now look at his hand is kind of jacked up. This is fine though, because I wanted to resculpt this anyway. Let's I'm gonna get his whole arm. This is actually the fun part for me, going in and resculpting the details so that it looks better. Solo. And never get super attached to your sculpt before you pose it, because guarantee you, you're gonna lose a lot of what you like. Just gotta go back and put it back in there. I was doing that Hulk before, and was just like really spending a lot of time trying to make sure the anatomy was good. And went and posed them, and lo and behold, boom, lost it all. Had to go in and do it all over again. But it's good because, you know, it helps you learn. Artwork for movie. I've done artwork for movie posters. Oh, and if you ever saw 22 Jump Street, I did a painting of Rob Riggle that they show at the end of the movie in the credits. That was fun. I just did a piece that I hope they use for I don't know if you guys have seen that movie Attack the Block, but the director has a new movie coming out, and I just painted a really fun piece for a movie poster for that, the new movie. No, you don't have to be a good drawer to sculpt well. Definitely not. I just saw somebody else in a stream talking about that. It was Ryan. I was watching Ryan Kingsley had a stream with Daniel Bell, and it's a question that people get all the time. And in fact, Daniel is not a, you know, he's a self-proclaimed not a very good, you know, penciler, but his sculpts are the best sculpts ever. Like, I mean, that's a few people that I have, like my top 5 ZBrush guys, and Daniel Bell is definitely in the top 5. But he was saying, I was like, you know, I didn't think I'd be able to do this because I wasn't a good pencil guy, and I gotta turn the air on, it's really hot up here. And so it doesn't really matter, you know, if you're a painter, it helps to be able to draw, like, really. I'm one of those guys that I feel like if you can, you know, if you're a good 2D artist, there's a really good chance that you can be a good sculptor as well. It's like the old masters, you know, they all used to do both. But it helps, you know. And once you know anatomy and form and stuff like that, then it crosses over. How long have I been doing it? A long time. I have been a professional illustrator since 2003, but I've been like painting and drawing since since I was a kid, you know. And I'm no kid now, let me tell you. Don't let the dyed mustache fool you. Alright. It's probably boring to you guys seeing me just like push pixels around. Oh, it doesn't. I mean, there's no set number of polys that you need to have. It depends on how much detail you want to have in it. That's hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. 35. I didn't start using ZBrush. Let's see. I started using ZBrush. It's 2018 now. 5, 6 years ago. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, one of those. Before that, I had, and I did it out of necessity because I was doing a lot of Hasbro box art, and I was using Poser to kind of figure out what my characters were going to look like and light them. And then I talked to a friend who was using DAZ Studio to do the same thing. So I used that for a while, and it was like the next step was I talked to a guy who was using ZBrush. I was like, "What's that?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, I I don't only have my characters, but I can make their armor and all this." That's when I was doing the G.I. Joe stuff for Hasbro. It was like, dude, I gotta learn this. Definitely gotta learn it. The what now? What you talking about, Willis? Alright. Thank you. Okay, let's get the sketch. Oh, and if you guys do not, if anybody in here doesn't use PureRef, it's amazing. You just pop whatever pictures you want on here and have Aretha Franklin. Who's doing a painting? You doing one? I don't think I'm doing one. I did watch her funeral. That was crazy. It's like really, I did not know Shaka Khan could go that hard anymore. You're the painter. You know what's crazy? I don't have time to do personal stuff anymore. But, I mean, it's good and it's also not so good. Hey, so if anybody else watched the Aretha Franklin funeral, everybody was singing there, you know, like Stevie Wonder to Fantasia. But did they have to take the? I mean, it looked to me like they had to snatch the mic out of Shaka Khan's hand because she came back and started singing again. Was that just me? I was like, I know they didn't just take the mic out of her hand. But it kind of looked that way. Also, I'm sure there's a ton of people in here who are so young, they're like, I don't even know who that is. She was a singer. She still is. What would that hand be? That thumb would be out. Out. Attention to time here. Okay, looks like I got about another 45 minutes. Yes, I've been a freelancer since 2001.
Parents got good taste. Yeah, I used to be a creative director for a few clothing companies, and one was a young men's brand called Echo Unlimited, and that's where I ended up meeting a lot of those hip hop artists, getting into that, you know, into that field. Used to do a lot of work for magazines. That's how I broke into illustration, actually. Oh, pro tip, if you want to get your foot in the door and you're a painter or illustrator, whatever you want to do any work, and have people you know, see it on any kind of a consistent basis, get magazine work. Pays pretty good, but you know, the exposure is amazing. So I think I was in Jersey when I was working with Echo, and I just decided to do like a day trip into the city in New York, and I just rolled up on a few different publishers, and one had you know, Vibe magazine, King, and Kicks, all these things, you know, that I was like, well, my stuff fits here, and I just showed my portfolio to all those guys. That, and I did the same thing with Hasbro. Got a meeting with Hasbro, and got to you know, got to meet with the directors for Transformers and Star Wars and all those different departments. So it's great because instead of going after a whole bunch of, you know, small, you know, not small, but after going after a whole bunch of different licenses, you can kind of get them all in one spot, you know, if that makes sense. Same with magazines. Now, I intentionally didn't spend a lot of time sculpting these hands because I knew that I was going to have to go in and redo this, which is good. It's bad enough to do fingers twice. You don't want to do them more than that. Yeah, probably. I think, I mean, I don't know. It depends. As far as illustration for movie posters, they use a lot of photo. Photos are mostly what they do. I've done quite a few pieces for, you know, for presentation where they ended up going with the photography. There's a movie that was out a while ago with Tracy Morgan and Cat Williams and Ice Cube called Next Sunday, I think, or Next Sunday, or something Sunday, First Sunday, and I did a movie poster for that. It came out really nice. They ended up going with a photo of just Cat and Tracy Morgan and Ice Cube, and I thought that's kind of where it died, but it was cool because the director liked it so much that even though the studio decided to go with the photo, he hit me up later and we worked on some stuff after that. So you never know, but concept art is a great field to get into if you're good at it. You know, I'm not a concept art guy. I was talking about that on the last stream. I have nothing but respect for guys who are comic book artists and concept artists, because that stuff is hard, man. Like, I don't know. I've seen people who can just do amazing stuff, and I can't even wrap my head around how fast they do it or how well it comes out. But the good thing about it is there's so much in the world of, like, you know, gaming and, you know, movies and stuff like that that uses concept art that you got a really good chance of breaking in. Thanks, Maurice. Yeah, Struzen's the best, man. I have his books. I'm a big fan. Big fan. In fact, those posters that I was talking about, I definitely use Struzen as inspiration for those. All those movie posters and stuff, if you ever want to see any of my illustration, all that stuff is on my site. Toy packaging, all that. Forget that while we're in here we can direct people to our own things. Mihai, what's up? What's up, dude? Mihai is a beast too, man. When I met Mihai, he was working at Ubisoft, and that guy can sculpt his hind parts off. So good. How you been, man? Yeah, Walter, you really can. I mean, it's such a great time to be doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, you just, with social media, you have access to everyone. It used to be with illustration and, you know, trying to get your foot in the door, you had to make a portfolio, spend a fortune on it, make flyers, send out, you know, monthly, like, just mailers to people. And the art directors are inundated with that stuff. Like, they would get so many of them that it doesn't matter how good you are. A lot of that work would go, you know, promotional work would just go unnoticed on a desk. Like, they'd have interns looking through it. And now, you know, with social media, you can direct people directly to your work and get, like, big folks, you know, get their eye. You know, you want to work for Sideshow, reach out to Sideshow directly. Put them onto your Instagram or whatever your social media is, show them your work, and you can definitely get a response. You know, like, if you're good enough. I'm still trying to get my foot in that door, but it's not, you know, it's definitely not on. It's not on them not seeing it. That's for sure. So it's awesome. I don't do 3D printing myself yet. I have friends that do it. I'm letting them kind of dip their toes into the expense part first, and then when I figure out how to do it myself, I'll get on it. I did this thing where I bought this really nice printer to do to make prints of my artwork, and I spent a fortune on it, and then I spent even more money on the inks, and it sits behind me back there collecting dust. I couldn't afford the inks, so I want to make sure before I go out and make an investment in a good printer and start to get resin and all that stuff that I have a plan. Hey, Chris.
Thank you, thank you.
I pulled up some videos for you.
Shout out to France. What is that? No, Cortana. Didn't ask for you. Get out of here. Yeah, it's like the gold standard, man, from what I hear. It's the one people I know use. But I mean, I'm sure there's other brands too. I don't know a whole lot about 3D printing. I'm sure that's all you'll hear about at the show this year. Yeah, Mihai's a beast on anatomy too. It's one of those guys that really made me decide to go get some books and push myself. It's funny how when you start sculpting or drawing or whatever, like you always think, oh man, I know what this thing looks like. I know how to do this thing. You kind of do it, and there's a real, just, you know, you can tell the people who constantly are just working on getting it, you know, as opposed to the people who are like, I know what a hand looks like. I have hands. I don't want to brag, but I do. Got 2 of them. Nice. Yeah, we gotta get up, man. Alright. Still trying to decide. So I probably want him to have more kind of monstery hands, like claws. I saw a really nice sketch. I like that. I like that a lot. So I'll probably go with something a little like that. Something has happened to my chair. I got this new office chair. Oh, there it is. It's very weird getting used to a new chair. I can't find the right position in this thing yet. Absolutely. You know what it was? I didn't want to do I didn't want to sculpt any of the ones that Sideshow already did, because I have this thing about when somebody does it right, I don't want to do it. Like, what's the point? I mean, I get that there's different interpretations, but you know, that guy I was talking about earlier, that's a friend of mine, that's a animator, got both He-Man and Skeletor, and they look so good, man. It's like, I don't want to mess with that guy. Whoever did the sculpt on that nailed it. So, and there's a few pieces that are like that. I have another friend named Ramel that does work for Prime 1 and Prime 1 and XM. I don't know if he does. I don't think he does Sideshow. He does Prime 1 and XM studio stuff. And man, he's insane. He's the guy that did the Lobo that you've seen at the shows lately that just came out. So good, and such a humble dude, man. Like, so humble. It's crazy.
So I like when you meet these people who are like really talented, and they also are, you know, not jerks about it, because they totally could be, you know. I work with an artist who's a 2D artist who shall remain nameless, but this guy is he's drinking the Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? That's not a good look when you're like that. It doesn't matter how talented you are, you know, don't be a jerk about it. So that's why I like these guys like Daniel Bell and Ramel and, you know, Mihai. All these guys are like super talented, but also very humble. Joe Mena's like that too, man. Joe's a regular dude, man. If you don't watch his streams, definitely watch them, because Joe has been sculpting forever, and you can tell. Like, he's the best. I'm gonna at some point give him like big gnarly knuckles, because he needs to have them. Joe streams on ZBrushLIVE. He's just super busy, so he probably hasn't been on in a while, but he's one of the live streamers. That's the thing, Pixelogic has a lot of guys that are like, and ladies that are killing it right now, streaming for them. Mask, I want the lasso. I'll be glad when this Wacom thing works itself out. It just seems way harder to work lately. Like even in here. There's just something weird going on lately with the drivers. I'll fix all these proportions at some point. I know that they're not right. Hands are one of those things that you like really have to be in the mood to sculpt them. And be patient, for me anyway. I'm just, right now I'm not super in the mood. I think I'll move on to something else. They'll be here later. Yeah. I can see that.
so not super sold on the pose yet. I'm gonna go in and I might do something a little more like this. Something like this. Kind of liking this. But I don't know. Don't know yet. 2 versions, maybe. Why does his face get so soft? Is this the highest res? Huh, was his face always that soft? I guess it was. Alright, well, I do want to look at some of these faces. Ooh, that's kind of gnarly. Okay, let's make a group for his helmet and all that. And you know what, let's start at the teeth. And then I can just turn on everything except for that. Well, it's supposed to turn on everything except that. Here. Yeah, I mean the driver was working fine before, but now it's for some reason it's not. So I don't know if I know that a Windows update did come out that messed me up last time. Maybe there was an update that I didn't see that did it. Can't even tell you. Ooh, that one's cool. Look at that. Me likey. Alright, let's do something like that. The light in his face. Now. Yeah, that's cool. So I'll be biting from a host of reference images, just so you know, not just this one. Some of those deep cuts.
15 minutes. This one shot by. Yes, I'm gonna keep on working on this probably Friday. So if you want to see more, like I said, just give me a follow on the Mike T2K on Twitch, and you won't miss anything. Now it's starting to get to the fun part. I mean, I want to dial the pose in. I'll probably do that off camera just because it's not super exciting to watch. But once that pose is locked in, the detailing is, for me, the best part. That's super fun. Yeah, Chun-Li's got to come back. So much stuff that I've started and just kind of haven't gotten back to. Like all these abandoned pieces that I got to do the rest of the G-Force guys. You know, like Keop was almost done, and I kind of put him down. I don't know why. I got sidetracked, saw something shiny, and went that way. But if you stop by, I'm really happy that you joined me today. Appreciate it. And all the guys that have been talking on the chat, I really appreciate that too. It's nice to have other people in here talking for change. I gotta do all the talking. Okay, I'm gonna have to wrap it up early, you guys. My son's at the door, and I gotta let him in. But thank you for coming, and I will check you on the next one. Okay, Mike T2K on Twitch, or yeah, Twitch. Follow me there. You'll see more. Peace. Yes.